the bat signal was sent out all the way to New York City, the New York metropolitan area, when the Bears had the day of days yesterday, and kind enough to answer that bat signal right now from Good Morning Football is, in fact, Kyle Brandt. Good to see you, Kyle. How are you?
I'm feeling McConaughey, Rich. I'm pounding my chest, too. I got to tell you, I need a little pick-me-up. When I'm done, when we finish our conversation, Rich,
yes.
I just want to stay on hold. It's just until McConaughey gets here. You tell me he's got a children's book?
Yes.
What is this thing called? I get older and my kids say the same age. I got to read this.
Yes, time is a flat circle, and it's a scratch and sniff. That's odd, Kyle. But no, it's called. No, I'm just kidding. It's called Just Because, already a #1 bestseller by Matthew McConaughey, talking about about feelings that sometimes get hurt for kids and don't judge books by cover and stuff like that. It's good stuff.
I will buy it. I will read it. The greatest story about that scene where he's beaten the chest.
Yes.
And Rich, if you think I'm just distracting you from the Bears talk, I am. I'm going to filibuster through this whole thing. I am fully filibustering.
Yes.
So he's sitting there with DiCaprio and they're getting ready to shoot. And McConaughey tells the story. He starts beating his chest. And look, Leo's like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "I just do this to get ready for scenes. It gets my energy up." And Leo goes, "Marty, start rolling on this. We need this to be in the movie." It is an awesome just ad lib from McConaughey. Great story. He'll tell it for you.
Yeah, and it is one of my favorite movies. I wish we could talk about it with him, but that's later on. Good to see you. Despite what happened yesterday, I figured let's get your 2 cents on the day of days that the Bears had on Wednesday, Kyle.
You know what, Rich? With this Justin Fields, it's like the Bears fans just can't have nice things. It's just that's what it starts to feel like. There's a lot of that going on. Here's my take.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when he said the coaching answer, it is the most candid thing he has said in his career. It's probably the only candid thing he has said in his career. Understand if nationally, if you're not really paying attention to Justin Fields, he's not a soundbite guy. We know very little about his personality, very little about his personal life. The only thing we knew was that he was a vegan, and he's not a vegan anymore. And over the first 2 years of his career, he had the snot kicked out of him on the field every single weekend. He never so much as threw a mouthpiece, never so much as pointed to a lineman. He doesn't do any of that. This, to me, was the first real candid media moment that he has had. I believe he meant what he said about coaching. And I think there's an irony, Rich, where he says, "I want to play loose. I want to be me. I don't want to be robotic." I think he was mirroring that in his media comments. He was playing loose and being himself and being robotic. And I think he's saying, look, I'm being overcoached. I'm being told a million different things. I don't feel free. I don't feel like an athlete. I feel like a robot, and it's too much. And it is the coaching. That guy who came back in the second statement where he said, no, it's on me. It's on me. I think that's disingenuous. I think that's him posturing and being a politician. And listen, Rich, you could bring on a million people and a million ex-quarterbacks to your show who could tell you the quarterback needs to put it on him and it's got to be his fault. That's fine. I respected that was a candid comment from him, and we actually saw the real Justin Fields say, I'm not feeling good about this coaching right now. I'm tense and I'm tight. I think that's what he meant.
Yeah, I'm with you. And again, he's just a 24-year-old who doesn't, who is otherwise very guarded, who let his guard down. And I understand again that, that I don't believe he was saying that the coaching is the reason why he's playing poorly. I just think he it's causing him to maybe have a hitch or two when you're just trying to be instinctive, and that's how you got to be Justin Fields in many different ways. And then you're thinking out there, and in comes Shaq Barrett. You're thinking out there, and in comes name anybody on the Packers who made his day terrible in week one. You're not going to look good. And I think that's maybe what he's saying is that, he's not playing as free because he keeps hearing about, the style that they're trying to play. What's the difference between last year and this year, though, based on what you're seeing?
It's crazy. It's this year he looks almost reluctant to run. Like, listen, the offense last year was Justin, make a crazy play. And they were the worst team of the year last year, and they've gotten worse. He doesn't want to run, and you're thinking, Justin, run. Get the hell out of there. Run for your life. And when Shaq Barrett is coming, maybe part of the reason it's coming because that's the second straight play they've run the exact same screen pass, and Shaq Barrett's played a lot of snaps together, and he intercepts it. But don't get me wrong, Rich. Here's the stat about Justin Fields. If we really want to engage in the Schadenfreude for Bears fans,
yes,
he has 2 touchdowns this year, 2 touchdown passes, and 2 pick sixes. So he's thrown as many touchdowns to Bears as he has to Bears opponents.
Oh, boy.
So it's getting really bad. And now he goes to Arrowhead. And not only goes to Arrowhead, he goes against the Chris Jones Chiefs. This isn't the week 1 Fugazi, no Kelsey, no Jones Chiefs.
Yes.
And he's got probably the clubhouse leader for the strangest day in the media in 2023 with what happened at Hallis Hall yesterday with their defensive coordinator.
What did happen? Was there any reporting on that on Good Morning Football at all, Kyle?
Yeah.
While I was coming to work?
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
So yesterday at Bears headquarters was a very strange day for the Bears. I think a very terrible day for social media. Bears defensive coordinator Alan Williams is in his 2nd year. He came over with Matt Eberflus, the head coach, who's with him in Indianapolis. Yesterday afternoon, after Fields goes after his coaches in the comments, after they put the starting left tackle on the IR, wild Twitter rumors start to circulate that Hallis Hall was raided by the FBI, which is ridiculous. It didn't happen. That Peanut Tillman, the Bears legend, was part of it with his relationship with the FBI. Ridiculous, didn't happen. There was a lot of fake news, but Rich, these are facts. Here are facts of what happened yesterday. In the middle of all this chaos, the Bears defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, resigned. He resigns with a very glowing, gushing statement about the coaching staff, the Bears organization, and the league, intimating that he'll be back to coaching. The Bears announced their defensive coordinator's resignation with a 1-sentence statement that doesn't thank him, doesn't wish him well, doesn't do anything. They also immediately scrub their website of all images of their defensive coordinator, all references to it. And then the cherry on top is Alan Williams has a statement issued through an attorney of his hiring about his state of affairs. So at best, it's curious. At worst, it is very concerning, and I do not think we have heard the last of this story.
Kyle Brandt here on the Rich Eisen Show, and so Eberflus is going to be. Ugh. He is going. I know, man, and
it's tough, Rich.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, look, we could have. This is like group therapy here, and you made a reference earlier on in this conversation about can't have some nice things. I tweeted that out about the Browns. And their fans at a terrible time, to be quite straight up about it, when Nick Chubb had just been carted off. And I was just echoing the sentiments that I said on NFL Game Day morning and into this microphone for days, that Jets fans can't have the nice things because Aaron Rodgers might be done for his career as well, even though it does appear he says otherwise right now. And Browns fans thought I was, dunking on them. It's like, hey, this is all one family of people that have been waiting and having hope completely doused right off the bat. I mean, who knows, Kyle? Maybe, just maybe, Justin Fields said what needed to be said. Something got cleared, and he will show up on Sunday looking like the kid that was very difficult to stop last year and made him, a fantasy darling because of what he could do. Maybe that happens, Kyle.
If I was the Bears coaching staff, the Bears offense coaches, I'd say, all right, let's sit down. What do you want to do? What plays do you want to run? When do you want to run them? I want to make you comfortable.
Yeah.
Let loose. Go ahead. Because we're going to Arrowhead. No one thinks we're going to win. Go and have a wild game. Let loose. Throw Hail Marys if you want. Run triple option. Run the single wing. Do whatever you want. But I don't know, Rich. I hope, because they're not 0-2, Rich. They're 0-12 in the last 12 games. And so we got to just get all of this out. I remember after the Rodgers injury, it must have been infuriating for yourself or anybody, a Jets fan, where you got to wake up to, well, maybe it's Carson Wentz or maybe Matt Ryan. It's insulting. It's kicking you while you're down. It's improbable. It's not going to happen. And to that version for the Bears today is, all right, so when they lose by 40 to Mahomes and Fields throws 3 more interceptions, you got to just tear it down and start over. They just tore it down. This is the new coach. This is the new GM. This is the new quarterback. It's all new everything. You can't keep tearing it down all the time. Eventually, you got to make that tenement shine. That's not the answer. It's insulting to hear that.
Kyle Brandt here on the Rich Eisen Show. Rest of week 3, what jumps out at you, brother? What do you like?
Oh, tonight. San Francisco versus the Giants tonight. Rich, we've been talking about this Brock Purdy. By we, I mean the nation. From the end of last season, it came out of some sort of Disney movie and can't lose games. And as we're starting the new season, he comes out, effortless wins, 2-0. at some point, is this guy ever going to show that he's a human being, that football is hard, that he can throw an interception, that he can have a bad game? I'm almost triggered by Brock Purdy. You and I, a lot of these people come in the league and we root for them and they're good people and they work out and they watch film and they just fail miserably. I'm almost offended at how easy Brock Purdy is making this. Dude, have a bad game. Mix in a loss. I'm not even sure. I talked about this morning. I'm not even sure he's a human being. Like, I think there's a conspiracy where he is an AI figure who is sent from Skynet, and the machines have infiltrated the league. He doesn't sweat. He doesn't bleed. He doesn't blink. He had the worst game of his career last week, allegedly. They still put on 30 points. So I would just like to see him resemble a human being with the rest of us tonight. I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the game for that. For the what is it? A QB GPT? Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Is that
I'm calling him Bot Purdy. Bot Purdy. That's the quarterback.
Purdy?
I don't think you're a human, Brock, and that's a compliment.
Bot Purdy. That's not a bad one, man. I just don't think tonight's that night, though. Kyle,
no.
I honestly don't. You're short week. No Saquon. Obviously. The Matt Breida revenge game. We're overlooking that. I don't see it. I just don't.
Yeah.
I have the 49ers atop my power rankings. I don't know if those power rankings filtered their way all the way splashed onto your shore. But I just think they're the best team in this league with respect to the Cowboys.
They're fantastic. And I don't even think Nick Bosa has hit his stride yet,
right.
who is their best player. The New York Post this morning, Rich, it had any given Thursday, and it's Dayball and it's Wink and it's all the Giants, and they're saying hope for a miracle. But I mean, listen, we've seen some wild outcomes already this week. I can't see it. Although, listen, if I'm going to make the case, and I will do it.
Yes.
Daniel Jones in the second half last week looked like a top 10 quarterback in the league. He looked awesome. That's one of the best halves of my adult life. Like, you can look up the stats, the way he ran and threw. If Jones can come out and go nuclear, maybe they got a shot, because that was a hell of a half, albeit starting down 60-0 to start the season.
Kyle Brandt here. A couple more minutes left with him right here on the Rich Eisen Show. And then, the Jets and the Patriots. It's Patriots week in that town right there in New York. I just don't. I don't know. I just seeing Zach Wilson, and again, maybe Hackett just can't coordinate for a quarterback named Wilson. Maybe they should just change Zach's last name. Is that what we do here? Because again, for four runs for Breece Hall is criminal, and I don't blame the guy for tweeting out 4 football emojis like he did, Kyle. I don't blame him.
I don't either. And I don't blame anybody who makes a meme where Hackett is a castaway at the ocean screaming after Wilson the volleyball. And I mean, it's the Wilson is a bad deal. I don't care who it is. Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson. It's not going to work. The Zach Wilson thing was fun for like a week, where we still had that hard knock saccharin sprinkled all over him. And when Liev Schreiber talks about you in slow-mo, Zach Wilson's a sympathetic figure. This is great. Let's root for this kid. He is learning. No, Zach Wilson has told us who he is many times. And when someone tells you who they are, believe them. I don't know. I would, Rich, I'll tell you this. For the sake of outcome and content, I would love for the Jets to win. I would love to see and have Bill Belichick answer questions about, well, you just lost to the Jets for the first time in 8 years. You're 0-3 for the first time in over 20 years. What are we doing here, Bill? Because you don't really seem to have any weapons at all. I just think it's going to take a couple of plays by someone like Judon, and Wilson will fumble away. But I want to see Bill Belichick answer questions at 0-3. Where are we headed, Coach? Because
that would be something else. And the Jets need that in the worst way. I mean, they absolutely need it in the worst way. 1-2 going into and having back-to-back Wilson performances like it's 2022 all over again. Even though his first 3 quarters looked unlike the fourth, that was the outlier as opposed to being the norm. That was more 2022. I guess I'm hanging my hat on whatever I can find. I'm not going to lie. I'm a desperate man, Kyle. I'm desperate. I'm a desperate dude.
Listen, I thought I referenced Justin Fields' veganism to you, Rich. That we're reaching for anything right now. Anything we can get that might be healthy. I feel you, dude.
Oh, we're turning to broccoli. Okay, last one for you, Kyle, is give me the team that we're not talking about through the first 2 weeks that you think is going to be a deep threat in the league this year. Kyle Brandt, what do you got for me on that?
I have to tell you, I really, really like what the Falcons are doing. I do. I really do. And I know that they haven't exactly crushed the 78 Steelers and the 92 Cowboys, but Rich, we've been kind of waiting for that bubble to burst with the astronomical statistics and the Mahomes and the Herberts and the Burrows. And here comes this old Titans coach who runs the Falcons, and he's like, we're going to run the hell out of it. We have definitely the offensive rookie of the year looking guy. We got a quarterback who has a deceptive moxie. We got this cool, like, kind of Georgia Dome feel going on at home, and they're playing Detroit this week. And if Atlanta Falcons beat Detroit, who I think is very beatable because they got some guys banged up, then the Falcons are 3-0 to the expectation of exactly nobody. And they got a mustachioed the head coach who just doesn't give a damn, is low personality, and is a smash mouth guy. I think it's Atlanta, and I think they will be 3-0. So
is that why you're inspired to have the mustache you're currently sporting, Kyle? Or this was a bit, for the lack of a better phrase, with Kirk Cousins' mustache that you and then now it's morphed into what you got on your face right now?
Oh no, I think the phrase you're looking for is shtick, Rich, and it is definitely that. Listen, when you do a year-round football show and you're in the month called June and you need to talk about anything and you're tired of answering the question of which Stranger Things character would Baker Mayfield be, you come up with stuff. And when I learned that Arthur Smith, that the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, had a mustache, and Rich,
yes,
if I may,
yes, sir,
the state of the American mustache has been defiled and hijacked by hipsters. Ironic Brooklyn hipsters who collect typewriters and play the banjo ironically, and I won't have it. Having a mustache used to mean something in this country, and the Falcons are taking it back. So I said, I'm with you, Coach Smith, and I will wear this mustache to start the season as long as you keep winning. When you lose, I'll shave. I didn't think the Falcons had much going for them. Here we are careening into week 3. If they beat the Lions this week, I may get divorced. I may just have to call a lawyer.
Careful.
That's it. I'm sorry.
Careful. My gosh. So your top 5 mustaches. Go, Kyle. Go. Top 5 mustaches.
I think it's like the GOAT debate. The Michael Jordan. It's Selleck for sure.
Yep.
I've always appreciated Burt Reynolds.
Of course.
We're officially out of Limes, Jack. I liked the Hulk Hogan blonde down here.
Okay.
I think Raleigh Fingers was
nice.
Probably on something back in the day, and I like his. And then I think I'm gonna go John Waters, the pencil thin, like creepy one. What do you? And by the way, Rich,
yes,
have you ever sported a mustache in your life?
I am. What you see is what you get. And by the way, the top, what you see here, I lost most of it doing NFL Network, a year-round football show during a lockout, Kyle. So I will see your June and raise you a lockout. Not that I'm a topper. I don't usually top my guests. I usually just want to converse with them. So 1 year, though, years and years and years ago, I went on vacation when it was on Sports Center, and I came back sporting a beard, and I was told they don't like facial hair. So I shaved off the sides. I went on the air. I did one Sports Center with a goatee, and I needed the makeup artist to draw in the connectors between my mustache and my beard. It was terrible. It was one and done. And then I come back here, with the beard. I've done this now, 5-6 years? Susie likes it. It's got the check mark at home, and this is what I got. I'm out of moves, Kyle. That's basically what I'm saying.
I'm glad you have the check mark at home. My wife, who cares not at all for the NFL, is coming home in an Amon-Ra St. Brown jersey this weekend so that the Lions can actually beat the Falcons and I can get this thing off my face. And Rich, I'm not even going to be with my wife this weekend. I'm coming out to LA to do game day morning with you guys. I'm going to be with you.
Okay. I look forward to that. And by the way, speaking of Susie, she's not terribly happy with you. She launched What the Football, new podcast here with Amy Trask. She saw your comments, Kyle. She's not happy with you. I'll be straight up. This is, this must be, and again, you have your own podcast. You've got 10 takes, and so do you want to remove that take that you had the other day? I can give you the floor on that. You could say we're done. It's up to you, Kyle. What do you got for me?
I remove nothing. I regret nothing. My apologies to Susie. Congratulations on the new show. I saw that Rap Sheet was on it. You know what it is, Rich?
Yes,
it is.
Kyle.
It's basically me just bitching and moaning about work. It is someone who has to take the subway to work and saying, God, this sucks. I've done 100 podcasts like you have. I'm going to do 100 more.
Right.
But if you could see the DM folder that came in after that diatribe, the people that DM'd me and saying, finally somebody said it. Now, excuse me, I'm going to go do this podcast. The people are out there, and the truth is out there. I regret nothing. Susie, I genuinely feel bad. It came out that way, and congratulations on the pod. I'm sure it'll be great. I really am.
So you're the Jerry Maguire of podcast guests? Is that what you're saying? You regret nothing? Is that you put your manifesto out there and you're just hanging with it? That's what you got.
The mission statement.
The mission statement.
I'm the Jerry Maguire. Rich, I'm the Rod Tidwell. Show me the money, and I'm there. I got audio. I got headphones. I'm ready.
10 Takes with Kyle Brandt. That podcast is available every Monday wherever you listen to your podcasts. Good Morning Football every single day at 7 Eastern Time. An outstanding program worthy of the Emmy a couple of years ago. And, of course, I will see you on Sunday, Kyle. I look forward to seeing you in studio.
I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, too, Rich. I'm going to sit here, listen to McConaughey. I'm going to have one absolute martini every 20 minutes till I pass the bleep out. Thanks, Rich.
Take care, Kyle Brandt, everybody. That's Kyle Brandt, at Kyle Brandt, wherever you follow on social media. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.